This is known as Point Zero. This gate is open. That is Syria. I'm standing on Turkish land. Here, Turkey is working with the UN and the US to try to keep this crossing open. Russia is trying to close it. This is what she is here to describe. She's talking to refugees. She's talking to non-governmental workers. She's getting briefed by the UN. But this is the important, critical message she's trying to bring back to the Security Council of the United Nations, that millions of people right there in Syria, down that road, will be dying from starvation, from violence, from hunger and other privations, lack of shelter, and now, almost more than anything else, from COVID. That is what needs to get through. So food, cement for shelter, vaccines, the little that have come so far. And now she's announced $239 million in additional USAID money, U.S. aid, that is going to get to these people, but not if Russia decides next month that this last corridor into the refugee camps, and there are more than 1,000 refugee camps over there, and still in a conflict zone, people who've been displaced by bombings, airstrikes from the Assad regime, that this is their only hope, as the UN ambassador told me, their only hope for survival. What is your reaction seeing this and gone inside and talked to the aid workers who cannot reveal their identities? We can't take pictures of them because it is so dangerous.
You know, I have two reactions. First, I am thankful. I am so thankful we have these people who are working here. What I said to them is, we can bring money, but money doesn't matter if you don't have people who are committed, who are passionate, who understand the work. And so I'm so thankful that we have them. But I'm also feeling a sense of desperation, because they feel a sense of desperation with the concern that there's a chance this one border crossing that we have been seeing today, that this crossing could be closed. And so I have been really spurred to work as hard as I can to do everything I can to keep this border open, but also to open the two borders that were closed. What they do saves lives, and we have to continue to help them do that.
You've said this in New York at the Security Council. Secretary Blinken addressed it in March. How is it different seeing the passion of these people yourself with your own eyes?
I mean, you actually see the reality of what they're doing and how complicated what they are doing is. Seeing just the transfer of food from one truck to another, seeing how many people are required to do this work.
It's life and death on top of war, which continues as we speak. There's COVID. How does that add to the dimensions of this crisis?
It certainly makes delivering of humanitarian assistance more complicated. But for the refugees, here's what I heard today. It's just another reason to die.
Another reason to die.
Another reason to die. So it's just added on top of starvation, violence, desperation, another reason to die. And we don't want people to have another reason to die.
What is your message when you go back to Russia about their stated opposition to keeping this last crossing open?
You know, I think I have a very positive message for my Russian counterpart. I have seen firsthand the importance of this border crossing and the needs that are being addressed in this border crossing. And you don't want on your shoulders the desperation of the people on the other side of the border. I can describe to him what that desperation looks like.
And this is the only way that COVID vaccines will get into these people.
Right now, this is the only way that COVID vaccines can get across the border. We know that there are areas in Syria where COVID vaccines have not been distributed, in the Northeast, for example.
So when the Russians say, well, give it to Damascus, the regime will distribute it to these people here,
It is possible that some aid will be distributed through Damascus, but we are providing assistance to people who may not get that assistance. And those cross-line mechanisms are not working. And if we're providing humanitarian assistance, I announced $239 million, almost $250,000 US dollars donated from USAID. If we're donating that amount of money, we want to see it get to the people it's directed toward. And we're not going to give that money to entities within Syria.
And when we talk about cross-line, we're talking about crossing the lines between the people here in the northwest region who Assad has viewed as his opponents.
Exactly.
And has bombed, and that's why they're displaced.
Exactly.
That's why they're living in tents.
Exactly.
This is an issue, we've been told, that the president will raise with Vladimir Putin at the summit.
I don't have the agenda for the president's meeting
but if he
with
does,
Putin. I know that the president is strongly committed to seeing this operation continues. Secretary Blinken is committed. I'm committed. And so we will do everything from the highest levels down to my level to continue this. I can't preview what is on the agenda, but I know in terms of our own discussions with the Russians, this is on our agenda.
And finally, you have served in Rwanda during the genocide, your long career in foreign service. You've been in Pakistan, all over Africa, in Afghanistan, under Taliban rule. What you're seeing here and what you're hearing recounted, how does that compare to all of the disaster zones you've experienced yourself?
You know, I think the scale here is more than anything I've ever experienced before, but the desperation is the same desperation. The needs are exactly the same. The emotions are the same. I am still reminded of my very first visit to a refugee camp when I saw a baby die in front of my eyes from starvation. That feeling never goes away. The emotions never go away, and I feel those emotions today.
And to the people back in the U.S. who are concerned about their own jobs, yes, about the pandemic, getting their kids educated, what do you say to them about the importance of this kind of assistance and of the U.S. playing a leading role?
You know, the president started in making sure that every American was vaccinated. But he also understood that if we are to be safe from COVID and we are to remain committed to our own values, that we have to support these efforts as well.